What's going on, guys? If you're new to the channel, go down and hit that big red button. You can stay up to date with Giants news and rumors all year long. We're a one-stop shop for all Giants news and rumors. And hey, if you're already subbed, go down in the comments section and type me. Everyone that types me, I will give you a shout out on the next Giants Now. What's going on, guys? You are watching New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green, and today we're going to get into a Giants rumors mailbag. We got some interesting questions coming in. If you're wondering, hey, Marshall, how do I get on these mailbags? You got to be a subscriber, so hit that big red button and go in the comment section right now. Drop your comments using hashtag Giants. This first one coming in from JJ23. They asked, do you think the Giants should trade James Bradberry to clear up cap space? What is his trade value? I think this is something that Joe Schoen and Brian Daboll and everybody else in the Giants front office is going to be talking about. Joe Schoen already came out and said he is looking to clear upwards of $40 million in cap space. And James Bradberry right now is a prime cut or trade candidate. Trading or cutting James Bradberry prior to June 1st would save the Giants $12.1 million. Yes, that's taking in the dead cap and the cap hit total. So if you trade him before June 1 or cut him, you save $12.1 million. If you wait till after June 1st and you trade or cut him, you then would save $13.5 million. With only a little bit of difference between how much money you would save, I would think this move would come before June 1st. And I think, and I was talking about it with some people in the office today, could you get a third-round pick for James Bradberry if you tried to trade him? When he was with the Giants in the 2020 season, after he signed coming from the Carolina Panthers, he was one of the best cornerbacks in the National Football League. It was like James Bradberry Island. You didn't throw over there. He took the number one receiver out of the game time and time again. Took a step back this year. Wasn't the same guy. I think if he stayed on the Giants roster, it would be good because he's a good player, and it sucks getting rid of good players. But at the end of the day, the Giants, they are in salary cap hell, and getting rid of someone that can clear up $12 or $13 million in cap space, that's something Joe Schoen and this front office is definitely going to have to think about. But you tell me, sit in the seat of Joe Schoen. Do you think the Giants should trade James Bradberry? If you think so, go down and type K for keep. Or if you're like, you know what, I think we got to trade him. We got to get money so we can sign our draft picks and make moves in free agency, go down and type T for trade. If the Giants trade James Bradberry or they cut him or any other moves happen, this is the channel that's going to be breaking it down ASAP. All we do is react to news and rumors surrounding the New York Giants. We just crossed over 5.6 thousand subs, and I want to get to 6,000 ASAP, and I need all of your help. So if this is your first time watching a video here on Giants Now, join the fam. I promise you won't regret it. Go down and hit that big red button. This next one coming in from Larry. They said, I've seen Kayvon Thibodeaux fall to number 5 in some mock drafts. Should the Giants draft him? Yeah, I saw that in the most recent Pro Football Focus mock draft. They had Thibodeaux falling to pick number 5. And if he falls that far, if he's on the clock, on the board, when the Giants are first on the clock with the number 5 pick, it's going to be hard to pass on him. Just a couple months ago, he was the number 1 edge rusher in the class, and deservedly so. What he did in 2021 and what he's done in his college career at Oregon cannot be denied. Last year, 7 sacks, but he has 19 total sacks in 30 career games and 35.5 tackles for loss in his career at Oregon. Just under 50 tackles last year, 12 tackles for loss. This is someone that I think is going to be a good edge rusher at the NFL level. I talked with our draft expert, Tom Downey, about, maybe a pro comp or some things that he does well and doesn't do well. He compared him to a little bit lighter and smaller Myles Garrett and a little bit worse, which I guess makes him a Robert Quinn or Brian Burns type of player. He's athletic. He's able to bend the corner, a very quick first step. He has strong hands, but he has to develop more pass rush moves. He's listed at 6'5", but I think he's actually closer to 6'4". I think this is going to be a day 1 starter in Kayvon Thibodeaux wherever he goes. And if he's there on the clock at 5, I know I want to take an offensive lineman, but at the end of the day, sometimes you got to go best player available, and that might just be Thibodeaux. But you make the decision. I'm curious. Would you draft Thibodeaux at pick number 5? Giants football relies on edge rushers, and Thibodeaux is one of the best in the draft. So if you want to draft him at 5, type D for draft. Or if you're not, and you're like me and you want 2 offensive linemen in the first round, type P for pass. I want to tell you guys about our awesome sportsbook partner, BetUS. If you go to chatsports.com/bet and plug in the promo code CHAT125, deposit $100. make those 3 steps, they will match that with a 125% deposit bonus. So you have $225 in your account with to bet on the Super Bowl. Go do it. I'm taking the Rams -4. I'm hoping my guy OBJ can get a ring. I still like him. I hate Pat Leonard. He drug him out of town. But at the end of the day, the place you want to bet with is BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code chat125. This what a name right here. I can't help but laugh. What a name. Mel Sniper, what a picture. What do you think about drafting Nakobe Dean or Devin Lloyd with pick number 7? I know the Giants don't like taking linebackers in round 1. They have not done it in a very long time. But Joe Schoen took Tremaine Edmonds in round 1 when he was with the Buffalo Bills, and that's 100% the truth. Ideally, I know I just talked about Thibodeaux, but I'd like taking O-lineman 1. And then I don't want to reach on a second guy. Maybe it's one of these guys. But at the end of the day, the number 5 and 7 picks and the last 6 NFL drafts, most of them have been difference makers for their franchise. This past year, Jamar Chase and Penei Sewell. Then Tua Tagovailoa and Derek Brown. Then Devin White and Josh Allen. Then Bradley Chubb and Josh Allen. Then Corey Davis and Mike Williams. Then Jalen Ramsey and DeForest Buckner. You have to walk out of this draft after the 5th and 7th overall selection and have 2 all-pro players on your roster. You need immediate playmakers, and the Giants, they can't afford to reach at 5 or 7. So ideally, in a perfect world, I would like the Giants to take 2 offensive linemen. But say you take one at 5 and the one at 7 isn't someone that you have high enough on your board, don't reach. I would love 2 linemen, but what do they say about the NFL draft? You don't always draft for need. Sometimes you just take the best football player on the board. And if it's Nakobe Dean or Devin Lloyd at 7 staring the Giants in the face, that might be a move you have to make. These 2 players are very, very comparable. Devin Lloyd is a little bit bigger of a player. He's 6'3", 230, while Nakobe Dean is just 6', 225. I think Nakobe Dean is a little bit quicker sideline to sideline, while I think Devin Lloyd is more of a physical presence. They're both all over the field. 72 tackles for Dean last year, 111 for Lloyd, 22 tackles for loss for Devin Lloyd compared to 10.5. Another thing I like about these 2 guys, they're good in coverage. They are 3-down linebackers, sideline to sideline athletes, and they can get after the quarterback. 6 sacks for Dean, 7 for Devin Lloyd. At the end of the day, if a lineman you don't have high on your board is there at 7 and these 2 guys are staring you in the face, they might be New York Football Giants and wearing that cap after Joe Schoen gives them a call. But let me know. Sit in the seat of Joe Schoen. If you're Brian Dable, what do you want for this football team? Who do you want the Giants to pick at number 7? I want to hear everybody in watching this video. Get in the comment section and let me know, because you're always all smarter than me, so let me know. Who do you want the Giants to pick at number 7? This next one coming in from Eli, Ride or Die. You better. He's one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. Should the Giants bring back Jabrill Peppers? He is a leader, but coming off the ACL, it scares me. I 100% agree. I think Jabrill Peppers, especially in the 2020 season, was the heartbeat of the New York Football Giants defense. He had his best season as a pro. 91 tackles, 8 tackles for loss, 2.5 sacks, 11 pass breakups, career highs across the board. But in the 2021 season, he just really wasn't that same player. He missed a lot of time due to the ACL injury. But I think it's time for Jabrill Peppers to transition to a linebacker role. I felt like early on in the season when he was playing, opposing teams were targeting him in the pass game. He struggles as a defender in space. He's not that good of a man-to-man coverage guy, and he's even worse in zone. But he is still one of the most physical safeties in the National Football League, and when he's brought into the box, he is an effective player. Can he come be a middle linebacker or a box safety for this team? I think that's his role on this team. And at the end of the day, he's an aging player. He's still young, but he's aging, and we know skill position players don't have as long as a shelf life, and he's coming off a serious injury. So if it's on a cheap, short-term deal, maybe a 1-year prove-it type of deal with not a lot of money guaranteed, or a 2-year deal with the second year not guaranteed, I would be interested in bringing Peppers back because he's a leader, and I like the energy and attitude he plays with. But I want to know what you have to say. Should the Giants re-sign Jabrill Peppers? Their cap situation's a mess. They're not going to be able to give him the big bucks, and I don't think he's going to get the big bucks. But if it's a 1-year, short-term, prove-it type of deal, I would type my R for re-sign. Or if you're out on Peppers and you want other people to play like Julian Love or Xavier McKinney, or for some reason you want Logan Ryan to keep playing, you're a weirdo, go down and type W for let walk. hit me up on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_. I'm tweeting about the Giants all off season long. And anytime they make a move, like when they hired their QB coach or their offensive line coach, or they just brought back the special teams coach, I was breaking it down on my Twitter. So for more Giants news and rumors, go hit me up at @MarshallGreen_.